Lucy Miller, an 18-year-old host and producer of the renowned survival show Wild Survival, had embarked on a daring new adventure. She had chosen an abandoned island off the coast of South Africa as her latest destination. Accompanying her on this difficult journey was her trusted cameraman, Jeff Turner. As they set sail towards the mysterious Seros Island, excitement coursed through Lucy's veins. She was known for her fearless spirit and unyielding determination to bring her viewers the most thrilling and authentic survival experiences. But today, they were about to encounter a challenge that would push their limits like never before. The boat cut through the deep blue waters, and the anticipation in the air was palpable. Lucy and Jeff prepared their equipment, ensuring every camera and survival gear was in top condition. They knew that success in the wild hinged on their preparedness, and they took their responsibilities seriously. But as the island loomed in the distance, a sudden heart-stopping moment shattered their calm. A massive, shadowy form emerged from the ocean's depths, its dorsal fins slicing through the water. It was a great white shark, an apex predator of the sea, and it had locked onto their boat. In a horrifying instant, the shark lunged, its jaws snapping shut on the stern of their vessel. The boat shuddered under the immense force of the attack, and before they could react, it was torn asunder. Lucy and Jeff were thrown into the churning waters, their survival instincts kicking in as they struggled to stay afloat. The great white circled ominously, an ancient predator driven by primal instincts. Lucy and Jeff knew they were now in a battle for their lives. They had to find a way to escape the relentless jaws of the shark and make it to the safety of Seros Island, still 700 meters away. With adrenaline pumping, they scanned the water for any sign of the shark's approach. Lucy grabbed a piece of debris from the wreckage and used it to fend off the shark as it closed in, its menacing eyes fixed on its prey. Meanwhile, Jeff reached for a survival buoy and clung to it, ready to support Lucy. The minutes felt like hours as they fought off the shark, their hearts pounding in their chests. With every swing of the makeshift weapon, Lucy pushed the predator back, buying them precious moments of respite. But the shark's determination was unwavering, and it continued its relentless pursuit. As Lucy and Jeff pushed onward, the distance to Seros Island seemed impossibly far. Every stroke of their arms and kick of their legs took them closer, but the shark's presence was a constant reminder of the danger that lurked beneath. They could feel the exhaustion setting in, but they couldn't afford to give in to fatigue. Finally, after what felt like an eternity of struggle, they reached the shores of Seros Island. Their bodies ached from the ordeal and were covered in sweat and seawater. With the last reserves of their strength, they pulled themselves onto the sandy beach and collapsed, gasping for breath. Their immediate relief was short-lived, though. They knew they needed help, and quickly. Lucy reached for her emergency radio and called for assistance, providing their coordinates and the dire situation. They could only wait now, hoping help would arrive in time. 3 agonizing hours passed, during which they watched the waters, half expecting the great white shark to return. The sun beat down on them, intensifying their thirst and exhaustion. But they couldn't let their guard down. Survival was still at stake. Then, on the distant horizon, they spotted the reassuring sight of a rescue boat approaching. Lucy and Jeff felt it as a welcome beacon of hope. Relief washes over them. They waved frantically to signal their rescuers and helped each other to their feet, eager to put the harrowing ordeal behind them. As the rescue team reached the shore, they extended a helping hand to Lucy and Jeff, pulling them aboard the boat. Safe at last, they exchanged glances of gratitude and relief with their rescuers. The great white shark, defeated and frustrated, circled in the distance, unable to claim its prey. Lucy Miller and Jeff Turner had faced the ultimate test of survival, and they had emerged victorious. Their unwavering determination and quick thinking had seen them through the relentless attacks of the great white shark. They had paddled 700 meters to reach the safety of Seros Island, and their distress call had been answered. A profound sense of gratitude and reflection marked the journey back to civilization. Lucy knew she had pushed herself to the limits, and this experience would forever be etched in her memory. Jeff, the cameraman who had been her steadfast companion throughout, had displayed remarkable courage and resilience. When they finally arrived back on the mainland, they were met with a flurry of reporters and well-wishers. Lucy's survival story captured the world's attention, and she was hailed as a true adventurer and survivor. But for her and Jeff, they had made it together, a testament to their unwavering bond and unyielding spirit. As the days passed, Lucy Miller continued to host and produce Wild Survival, bringing her viewers thrilling and authentic experiences from the world's most challenging environments. But the adventure on Seros Island had taught her a valuable lesson, that the wild could be unforgiving and survival was never guaranteed. Yet anything was possible with determination, resourcefulness, and a will to overcome the odds. 18-year-old Grace was known for her adventurous spirit and penchant for seeking thrills that made her heart race. She lived on the edge, constantly searching for the next daring escapade. One sunny afternoon, she hatched a plan with her two close friends, Jack and Harry. They would embark on a journey to Accompanying Island in Southern California. However, as Grace excitedly shared her plan with her father, his face grew tense with concern. He knew the dangerous reputation of Accompanying Island all too well. It was notorious for being a hotspot for great white shark activity, and the dangers that lurked beneath the waves were not to be taken lightly. Grace's father, a man with years of experience behind him, tried to dissuade her from this dangerous adventure. He had seen enough of the world to understand the risks ahead and deeply cared for his daughter's safety. He pleaded with her to reconsider, his voice filled with paternal worry. But Grace, in the way that many adults can be, was filled with youthful arrogance. She brushed off her father's concerns with a dismissive hand wave. To her, the allure of the unknown and the promise of a thrilling adventure were far more appealing than any warnings of danger. She was convinced that she and her friends could handle whatever challenges Accompanying Island threw their way. Determined to follow through with her plans, Grace, Jack, and Harry set off for Accompanying Island, their boat slicing through the calm waters of the Pacific Ocean. The sun hung high, casting a warm and inviting glow over their journey. As they neared the island, the excitement aboard the boat was palpable. The trio had spent weeks meticulously planning their adventure, and they were ready for whatever Accompanying Island had in store for them. However, Grace's father couldn't shake the dread that had settled over him. Just as the island appeared on the horizon, a sudden heart-stopping moment shattered the jubilant atmosphere. From the depths below, a shadowy figure emerged, its dorsal fin slicing through the water with menacing grace. It was a great white shark, the apex predator of the sea, and it had zeroed in on their boat. In an instant, the shark lunged forward, its massive jaws snapping shut on the stern of the vessel. The boat shuddered violently as the creature's immense power tore through the fiberglass hull. Panic washed over Grace, Jack, and Harry as they were thrown into the churning waters, their adventure plans replaced by a fight for survival. Back on the mainland, Grace's father's intuition had led him to worry about his daughter's safety. He couldn't ignore the gnawing sense of unease that had settled in his gut since Grace had set out on her ill-fated adventure. Unable to shake off his concerns, he followed them to Accompanying Island. Hours later, as he approached the island, a scene of devastation greeted him. The battered remnants of their boat floated on the water's surface, and he feared the worst. He scanned the area with a sense of urgency, his heart pounding in his chest. Then in the distance, he spotted a cluster of heads bobbing in the water. His heart sank as he realized that it was Grace, Jack, and Harry struggling to stay afloat amidst the wreckage of their boat. He wasted no time and raced towards them, guided by his fatherly instincts. Pulling alongside the trio, he extended a life-saving hand to each of them, helping them onto his boat. Their battered bodies, coated in seawater and fear, told the story of their harrowing ordeal. The great white shark, frustrated and hungry, circled nearby, unable to claim its prey this time. With the adrenaline still coursing through their veins, Grace, Jack, and Harry clung to the boat's safety, their eyes wide with disbelief at their near brush with death. Grace's father knew he had arrived just in the nick of time, and he couldn't help but feel a profound sense of relief. Turning away from the island, they headed back towards the safety of the mainland. A heavy silence marked the journey, the weight of the dangerous adventure they had just escaped hanging in the air. Grace's father spared no words. His stern expression spoke volumes about his concerns. As they disembarked from the boat and set foot on solid ground, Grace's father embraced his daughter tightly, a mixture of relief and reproach in his eyes. He had feared that he might never see her again, and the day's emotions were etched deeply into his face. Though still shaken by the ordeal, the trio of friends couldn't deny the lesson they had learned. The dangers they had faced were not to be taken lightly, and they had narrowly escaped a fate that could have been far more tragic. Grace had failed to heed her father's warnings in her youthful arrogance, which had nearly cost her and her friends dearly. As time passed, Grace reflected on the events of that fateful day. She realized that her father's wisdom had been hard-earned through years of experience and a deep love for his daughter. She understood the importance of listening to those who cared for her and the value of their guidance. The Accompanying Island adventure remained etched in their memories as a stark reminder that youthful exuberance should always be tempered with caution and respect for the wisdom of those who had walked the path before. Grace's father had saved them from the jaws of a great white shark and the consequences of their recklessness. Chasey Franz, her husband Tom, and their daughter Chalisa had embarked on a family adventure to Accompanying Island in the rugged wilderness of Alaska. The pristine beauty of the Alaskan wilderness had always held a special allure for them, and they were eager to explore this remote island together. The journey had been tranquil thus far, with the family basking in the serenity of the Alaskan waters as they covered the distance to their destination. The air was crisp, carrying the scent of the sea and the promise of a memorable adventure. Chalisa, their adventurous daughter, was perched on the edge of the boat, her eyes wide with wonder as she gazed at the icy expanse of the ocean. She had always been drawn to the thrill of nature, and this journey was a dream come true for her. Little did they know that their adventure would soon take an unexpected and harrowing turn. As they continued on their course toward Accompanying Island, a sudden and violent upheaval shattered the moment's tranquility. Without warning, a massive form emerged from the depths below, its dorsal fin slicing through the water with an eerie grace. A great white shark, a formidable sea predator, had locked onto their boat. The shark surged forward, its enormous jaws snapping shut with a horrifying force. Chalisa, sitting at the edge of the boat, was the closest to the predator's reach. In a split second, her world became a frenzy of terror as the great white shark clamped its razor-sharp teeth around her arm. Panic and adrenaline coursed through the boat as the family grappled with the sheer horror of the situation. Chalisa's cries of pain and terror pierced the air as she fought to break free from the grip of the ruthless predator. Blood stained the water, a chilling reminder of their peril. Tom, driven by a father's instinct to protect his child, sprang into action. With adrenaline, he powered the boat forward, the engine roaring to life as he desperately sped towards Accompanying Island. The race against time had begun, and Chalisa's life depended on reaching medical help as swiftly as possible. The island, a beacon of hope on the horizon, drew nearer with every passing moment. Chasey, her face etched with worry and determination, clung to her injured daughter, doing her best to keep Chalisa stable and conscious as they raced against the relentless clock. Finally, they reached the shores of Accompanying Island, the boat's engine roaring to a halt as they made landfall. Tom's heart pounded in his chest as he leaped from the ship, frantically seeking assistance for Chalisa. He knew that every second counted, and the urgency weighed heavily upon him. The island, though remote, was equipped with a medical station staffed by professionals who were well prepared for emergencies. They rushed to Chalisa's aid, their expertise shining through as they assessed the extent of her injuries. The great white shark's attack left her with a severely injured arm, and the immediate focus was stabilizing her condition. Tom stood by his daughter's side, his face etched with relief and worry. Chasey remained close, offering support and comfort to her injured daughter. The medical team worked tirelessly, tending to Chalisa's wounds and doing everything possible to ensure her recovery. Time seemed to blur as the hours passed. Chalisa's injuries were severe, but the medical team's skill and determination prevailed. They managed to stabilize her condition, and arrangements were made for her to transfer back to the mainland for further treatment. A pair of Marine guards were dispatched to Accompanying Island to transport Chalisa and her family back to the mainland. As they boarded the boat, the island's natural beauty seemed bittersweet, a reminder of the adventure that had taken an unexpected and terrifying turn. The journey back to the mainland was marked by a solemn atmosphere. Chalisa, though still in pain, was now in capable hands. and the knowledge that she was receiving the best possible care brought some solace to her family. Tom and Chasey were grateful they had reached Verotic Island when they did, as it had undoubtedly saved their daughter's life. Upon their return to the mainland, Chalisa was immediately transferred to a hospital, where a team of skilled surgeons worked diligently to repair her injured arm. The road to recovery would be long and challenging, but Chalisa's resilience and the unwavering support of her family would see her through. As the days turned into weeks, Chalisa's condition gradually improved. She underwent physical therapy to regain the use of her injured arm and received unwavering support from her family every step of the way. The experience had brought them closer, and their love and determination to overcome adversity were more vigorous than ever. The incident on Verotic Island served as a stark reminder of the unpredictable and unforgiving nature of the wild. It was a testament to the bravery of a father who had fought against all odds to protect his daughter, the resilience of a young woman who refused to be defined by her injuries, and the unwavering support of a loving family. Chalisa's journey towards recovery was a testament to the indomitable human spirit, and her family stood by her side, offering love, strength, and unwavering support as they faced the challenges ahead together. Nancy Clark had spent her entire life in the tight-knit coastal community of Ambot Bay, North California. It was a place where the salty breeze intertwined with the essence of hard work, resilience, and an enduring connection to the sea. Her family's legacy was deeply rooted in the art of fishing. Her father, a seasoned fisherman, had passed away when she was just a child, leaving her in the care of her uncle, Robert Clark, who was also a man of the sea. As the sun broke through the horizon each morning, casting its gentle glow upon the tranquil bay, Nancy could be found by the shoreline, her eyes fixed on the endless expanse of the ocean. Her heart swelled with a profound love for the sea. With her uncle Robert, she found a mentor and protector. He had taken her under his wing after her father's passing, teaching her the ways of the ocean and the art of fishing. Together they formed a team, a familial bond forged by the relentless tides of Ambot Bay. One clear summer morning, as the first light kissed the bay's waters, Nancy stood on the dock beside her uncle, watching the Serenade, their trusty fishing boat, sway gently with the tide. It was a small vessel, worn by years of hard work and unforgiving elements, but it symbolized their livelihood and the legacy they carried forward. Robert and Nancy prepared the Serenade for a day of fishing on the open ocean. The nets were carefully inspected, the bait secured, and the weathered charts unfolded to guide them to the most promising fishing grounds. The gulls overhead called out as if sharing in anticipation of the day's catch. They pushed the boat away from the dock, the water beneath them welcoming the Serenade's graceful entry. Nancy took her place beside her uncle, her eyes scanning the horizon for any signs of movement in the water. The gentle rocking of the boat beneath her feet was soothing, a sensation she had come to cherish. As they ventured farther from the sheltered bay and into the vast expanse of the open ocean, a sense of excitement and trepidation coursed through Nancy's veins. The sea was unpredictable, its moods ever-changing, and she had learned to respect its power. Their journey had been uneventful, the morning sun warming their backs as they did their tasks. The rhythmic sounds of the boat's engine and the creaking of the wooden deck beneath their feet formed a symphony of familiarity. They cast their nets into the water, patiently waiting for their haul. However, on this day, the sea had other plans. Without warning, a shadowy form materialized beneath the surface, a dark silhouette that seemed to defy the boundaries of nature. A sense of foreboding washed over Nancy as she witnessed the massive shape, unmistakably that of a great white shark. The shark's arrival was abrupt, sending shockwaves through the Serenade. It approached with a speed and determination that left no room for escape. Panic gripped Nancy and Robert as the enormous predator surged towards them. In an instant, the great white shark collided with the Serenade, its colossal bulk slamming into the small boat. The impact was deafening, with wood splintering and the ship tilting dangerously to one side. Nancy and her uncle were thrown off balance, their world descending into chaos. But amidst the turmoil and terror, fate offered them an unlikely reprieve. The shark, perhaps disoriented by the collision, veered away from the boat just as swiftly as it had attacked. It disappeared back into the ocean's depths, leaving behind only the ripples of its presence. As Nancy and Robert clung to the battered vessel, their hearts pounding and breaths ragged, they realized they had narrowly escaped the jaws of death. The Serenade bore the scars of the encounter, showing signs of damage from the shark's forceful assault. However, miraculously, they remained unharmed. With trembling hands, they assessed the damage to the boat. It had been a close call, a confrontation with nature's apex predator that had tested their mettle and resolve. The sea had delivered its warning, a reminder of the delicate balance between humans and the untamed world beneath the waves. Nancy and Robert knew they had been granted a second chance, a testament to their shared love for the sea and their unwavering bond as family and fishermen. With their hearts heavy with both fear and gratitude, they decided to return to Ambot Bay, their trusty Serenade carrying them back to the safety of their beloved shores. The ocean's vastness stretched as they navigated the journey home, reminding them of the mysteries beneath its surface. The experience had left an indelible mark on Nancy's soul, a profound respect for the sea's untamed beauty and unforgiving power. In Ambot Bay, where the salty breeze continued to whisper its tales of triumph and tribulation, Nancy and Robert Clark would remember that fateful encounter with the great white shark with them forever. It was a stark reminder that in the realm of the sea, survival was a delicate dance, one where humans were mere guests in a world governed by forces far beyond their control.